Brought my morning cup of postum out to the garden just to try to do a few things, really more for peace of mind than anything else. I've been worrying about Granny, of course. She's not doing well. Granny is failing. So this is my happy place, coming out into the garden, kind of let your thoughts go where they will. Of course, feel closer to the good Lord in the garden too. But there are things that need to be done. So I need to cut the okra, I know. There's the beans that we've left hanging. We've got most of them, but there's still a few of the Mother Stallard beans. We were letting some of them dry on the vine so that we could just use them as dried beans or as seed next year. But mostly I wanted to dry them. I wanted to eat them as dried beans. There's pumpkins here and there that need to be got up. My one big giant squash down there, I'll have to get Matt to help me with it, and I'm going to check it though because something's happened to the other ones that grew and they're no more. So I hope that one has made it. I hope it's okay, but I need to go down there and check on it. It's really nice this morning. It was about 56, 57 degrees. It will warm up probably to 80, in the 80s today. We've been having the cooler mornings, and then the kind of hot days, our heat has come back. I'm hopeful that once the next little cool spell comes, it'll stay. It'll kind of stay maybe in the, in the 70s during the day, or maybe even in the 60s. That would be nice. I love all of the seasons equally. I'm always ready for the next one to come though. And this is my least favorite one, just because of, I don't know if the view from the camera here shows you good or not, but everything just takes on a rusty, not dusty, it is dusty too because we've not had much rain, but rusty. It just looks kind of dull, I guess is what it is. All that beautiful green vibrance of the trees, they kind of take on a lackluster look, and of course the things in the garden have died back and are looking brown and shriveled, and it's just my least favorite time. But it doesn't last long. It doesn't last long. Even as I look up through there at the trees, I can see the yellows and the reds and the golds of the changing leaves starting to show up. I can see some pretty flowers still too. My Japanese anemones, they're still blooming. So there is still a lot of beauty, even though this is the least favorite time of the year for me as far as the way things look. It's amazing how much growth happens in the mountains of southern Appalachia in one season, and then amazing how it all dies back. Now it'll take some good hard frost, hard freezes before that happens, but so much of this, like the rusty parts that I don't like, will just be gone. Some of them will, like the trees will turn colors, they'll be pretty, but then the leaves will fall. But the weeds and the brambles and all that, they'll just die back like they were never there. And then next spring, when the warm sun starts shining, that warmth will draw that stuff back up from the ground, and it'll be a growth cycle all over again. It's really, really an amazing thing to see. And I'm glad I live where I've got a front row seat to view it all. So let's go see if we can find some okra. I'll stand here and drink some of my postum while I survey the okra. I see some that's way too long. I can hear Granny telling me, "You've let your okra get way too long." Back when I worked outside of the home, and Matt did too, but we still grew a garden every year, but it was just harder, when you didn't get home till late in the evening and you were exhausted, you had to cook supper and do homework or do whatever the kids were doing. Just different times in those days. I can't imagine now looking back how we did all that we did. Played music all over the place, but we somehow managed it all. Anyway, my okra would get too long, and Granny was well in those days and able to get out and walk, and so she'd come up here to check my garden, and she'd cut it for me and leave it by my door, and then call me and tell me, "You let your okra get way too long, so I went ahead and cut it for you. You need to use that." Granny's always looking out for me. This is a real peaceful part of the garden. I'm still amazed, if you can see over on the other side of the okra over through there, is where we had Thomas cut all those trees. I still love the view of seeing that ridge over there. It's always been there, but I just have a much better view of it. I planted a lot of dill up here in this part of the garden, and I can smell it just standing here, that wonderful fresh, clean scent. I'm going to go ahead and get even the little bitty ones. I like to eat those raw. I guess it's an acquired taste, but I like them. Here's one that I've let get entirely too big. Still feels pretty soft though. That's one of the reasons I really love the Jing orange. I love the flavor it really produces, but it seems like it stays tender longer. I'll take it in and see though. Sometimes okra, if you let it get too big, it gets so tough that you're trying to cut it with your knife and it just won't even if you got a sharp knife, it just won't even go in. It gets so woody. It's like trying to cut a piece of wood. Always easy to miss them. There's one I missed. There's probably others. Lots of blooms still, so we'll still have okra. We usually have okra until the first hard freeze. I ended up with a pretty good mess of okra. Some of them may be too big. Gets harder as it goes down the stalk, but I'll take it in just in case and see. Now let's go check on that squash. So this is the only winter squash up here this kind that has made it. It still looks pretty good. Maybe. I need to get Matt, ask him today just to go ahead and carry it up to the porch. I like to wait till this part completely dies back, but as you can see, we've already cut the ends off of it, so it's given no nourishment left to it. And the stalk there looks like it's got some bug damage, so need to get Matt just to carry it and put it on the porch. We've got ground cherries growing everywhere. This is what they look like. They've had this little papery skin. I'm the only one that likes to eat them. I need to get Katie to taste them again since she's all of a sudden developed a taste for tomatoes. So this is what the ground cherry plant looks like. You can see all those little fruits. They're not really, well, that one come off. They're not really good at all until they fall off is usually when you know that they're ripe. That one I kind of knocked off, but they've got to kind of change colors and get a little soft. When they're green, they're not good at all. And that one was not very sweet since I'd knocked it off. There's one of their little blooms. Isn't that pretty? If you ever have ground cherries, then you'll always have them. We have them all over the place. They get on Matt's nerves, and really I'm the only person that likes them. I've tried to make a pie with them before, and I didn't like it. I would never make it again. Oh, I just knocked that one off too. But you can make jellies and salsa and different things with them. I said I was going to pick up those pumpkins, but I think I'm going to leave them. I think I'm just going to leave them where they're at for a little bit longer. Just one butternut over there. I see a bad place on top of it. I hope it's okay. If it's not, it's not. And if it is, I guess. And then underneath these zinnias, there's a few more hiding. About 3 little sugar pumpkins. They're really pretty. Flowers are still pretty too. I was talking about all that kind of decayed look, the rusty look. This area of the garden still has quite a bit of green because of the fall things we've planted. You can see our long row there of turnips mostly. Got some kohlrabi and then some, I don't know if you can see them for the flowers, but on this side, on the left side of that row, we have some of our greens, and they're all doing really good. I went ahead and pulled up our radishes. Isn't that nice? That's the best radishes we've grown all year. Somehow in the spring they didn't do that good. Those look great. They're the kind of the longer, like icicle ones. Now, I really love radishes. Matt don't like them. Corey likes them. I'm not sure about Katie. I can't remember. But Matt did like them. A lot of you told me that I should roast them and Matt would like them that way, and he did. He liked them that way. But I will probably share these with Granny. She loves them, so I'll give most of them to her. And she just likes, like I do, just to eat them raw with salt. That's the best ones we've grown all year. So this pitiful looking bunch of beans is those Mother Stallard beans. I see a few green ones down there, but as you can see, they just need to be pulled out. But before that, I need to go through and get all the ones that have been drying on the vine off. And it'd probably be better to wait till the sunshine got on them and they, dried the nighttime dew off of them, but I'm not going to wait on that. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Found a big hole over there. I'm gonna have to go get Matt, and it looks like an animal hole, and let him see what he thinks it is. I would pass out if a big mouse or rat come out of it. I wouldn't be able to bear it. Let me see if I can go get him. Let's see what Matt thinks about it. Let's see beans I missed too. Hole. What is it? Think a big rat's gonna come out on top of me.
Uh-oh, you're scared. That's what it is. You're scared of the rat?
I'm scared of the rats, yeah.
Listen, just call up Binks. We won't have a problem.
You think that's what it is, or you think it's something else? Big rats do burrow into the ground and make tunnels.
They do, yes they do. Well, all you need to do is bring Binks over here if that's what it is, and he will extend.
I don't know if it's part of, it looks like something's been going in and out there, but it may be in line with that drain there.
Okay.
You remember years ago, the dogs run a squirrel up that drain and come up in here and tore it all to pieces and dug it out.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was Molly, she did that.
I'll find something around in there and see if we can flush something out.
Scare it out.
See if it'll run up your leg.
No, Matt. I gotta leave for that.
Well, common sense will tell you the size of the hole is indicative of the size of
Yeah, but they
it is.
can squeeze down and get tiny.
Well, hopefully a pony don't jump out of it then.
Oh, y'all. Come on. I want to know where my cat's at anyway. I ain't seen it. Mama's out of there. Maybe a great big vole or mole will come out of there.
Oh, I hear the pipe.
Yeah, it's a pipe right there. So,
It's the pipe to our downspout.
that's probably stopped up too.
Let's see if we can find Binky.
That's what they do. They dig down and find a break in that pipe because it's being tore up, and then they just
can go
live
in the
inside
pipe.
There's a hole right there.
Yeah.
That's probably,
It's in and out.
yeah,
Back door access.
yeah. You know, it might be a copperhead den too.
I was going to show you what Matt fixed, and I didn't tell him, and so he covered it up, but there you go. He put a patch over the hole that was in the drain pipe. What is that stuff, Matt?
It's something similar to Kydex.
Kydex. Well, whatever's living in it can't come out that hole.
Well, if it's as big as you say it is, it can probably push itself out and uproot all this. And
Probably.
there'll probably be a giant crater out here tomorrow morning.
Probably.
Our garden will be gone.
Might
And
be.
then he'll start on the house and we'll have to leave.
I just don't like rats, you know that. So I ended up with a basket full of beans. I shelled a few out so you could see how pretty they are. Aren't they just lovely? This should be enough for us to get to eat some of them as dried beans and then also have some for seed for next year. This is the Mother Stallard bean. And we really enjoy eating them fresh like green beans, just with the hull and all. And this year we canned some with the hull and all, just like you would green beans. So I hope that we'll like those too. I'm sure we will. But we grew them for the first time last year because, you know, if there was ever a year for mothers, that was the year. And we just liked them so much. I can't imagine that we won't grow them every year from now on. My postum's got cold. I think it may have a bug or two swimming around in it too. But I've really enjoyed my time in the garden this morning. I've got a busy day ahead of me, so I've got to go in and get cleaned up and get started on the things I need to do. But I feel better for having been outside. It does the body good. Even if you don't have a garden, if you can just go sit on your front porch for a few minutes or stoop or sidewalk or step, take a walk around the block, anything like that. It really clears your mind and just helps you in many different ways. I also love when I'm feeling like I need a little bit of space, a little bit of peace, to go up on the ridge behind our house, scale that big mountain there behind me and go all the way to the top and just sit. It seems like the world's problems are so far away that they don't matter anymore, that my problems are like that. I remember one time when the girls were little, I took them one day. I just desperately needed to go up there, feel the wind in my face, feel like, spend time with God, feel like the world, didn't matter. I could get away from everything that was bothering me. And so I told them we were going on a special walk. They were probably about 3 years old. And of course they had to crawl pretty much all the way up there, and because it's so steep, and it's got leaves and pine needles, and it's like when you're a kid you're sliding almost like on a slide. But they made it. I didn't even put their little shirts on them, so their little fat bellies was scratched up by the time we got back. And of course they thought it was a grand adventure. They really, really loved it. But being outside really does help you if you're worried or troubled about something. And the fresh air is good for you. Of course, if you're hiking up the mountain there or working around in the garden or walking around your block or whatever, the exercise is good for you, all those things. Matt and I this morning were watching, he was watching it actually last night with Katie, and then he showed a little bit of it to me this morning. On YouTube you can find anything. So somehow he stumbled across, he's always, we all love music, and Matt especially loves the older country music, and so somehow he stumbled on where someone had recorded the country music awards from, I don't remember if it was 1983 or 1982. Anyway, we found ourselves watching it, remembering stars that we'd forgot about, people that maybe had a hit with one song but then didn't go on to continue being like that. And then there was people like George Strait, he got nominated for new male vocalist, but he didn't win. Anyway, it's just interesting to see the hairstyles and the dress and all that, and to remember, me and Matt can remember Alabama won 3 different awards, and of course when me and Matt were little, their music was really, really popular. And Matt even, he may have told it in a video before, he got to see them before they were ever really popular at the beach. And I can't remember the name of the place, but it's really famous, and Papa Tony was in there. That was in the days, can't believe he left Matt outside, but he did. But then Matt could peek over and see what was going on, and he seen them. Anyway, amazing to, it's always nice to go back in time like that and look and remember. But how time has flown since then. Our pastor said at church Sunday, he said, life is so short. If you're, tragically taken early, it's short, and we feel so sorry for the people that their lives get cut short in, a variety of ways. Even just being sick, the young people are attacked by cancer too, like Granny. And it's such a shame, and we're so sad for them. But even if you live to be, he was saying, even if you live to be the average median age for Americans, he was talking about, it still goes by just like that. He was talking about we have several young families in our church and with little kids like Woodrow and Ira, and he said, I remember those days wondering if it would ever end, and, because it's with his kids and, having a family and working and how stressful it all is. But he said, like that, it's gone. So he was just making the point, of course, he was, that we should be prepared to meet our Maker is the point he was making, which we should. But I liked when he said it, I thought, and that's why we should make every day count, every minute, every moment. I'm as bad as anybody to get in a bad mood or get aggravated about this or that, get frustrated, we say, instead of frustrated about things, but we shouldn't. We should just be grateful for every little thing. And of course, I'm thinking about all this because of Granny, because I can see that she's just not doing well at all. So it makes you want to enjoy, whether it's me dragging Corey and Katie up the ridge to feel the wind on my face and gain a moments of peace so I could continue, or this morning out in my garden cutting the okra, knowing Granny would say, you let that get too big. You let it get too big. Even going and getting Matt and, being scared of what might be in the hole. I'm sure it was a rat, but at least it didn't come out on me. Got to be grateful for all of it, and I really am, and I'm grateful for you too. I'm always glad when you stop by to help me celebrate Appalachia.